Greetings. Barry Morphew's preliminary trial has ended and we're waiting until the 17th of September to hear the outcome. I think the main question about what the outcome will be is probably simply, will Barry get bond or not? He's probably going to be moved forward into his trial for the murder, first-degree murder of Suzanne Morphew. We've got a couple of players sharing the same initials, haven't we? We've got LS, we've got Lauren Schaff, and we've got Linda Stanley. And these women are both in roles that are essentially public serving roles, and these roles should or do share this code of ethics. Okay, so you've got your journalistic code of ethics. See, media isn't just lowercase, just a word to describe the industry you might be working in. It's a regulated body, and it's a very specific thing. It's basically media with a capital M. There's a code of ethics. You're there to serve the people, and this can be tricky when you're, hired by Fox, and if you struggle with serving the people and you'd rather serve yourself, serve your own biases, maybe you need to be an independent, name yourself what you will, maybe put a social in front of the media and continue on your way as such, as a social commentator, as an individual putting forth opinion. Because if you can't be a journalist who upholds the code of ethics, you're not a journalist, and you're not striving to fulfill that role that you've chosen for yourself. You're not walking the line. The code of ethics in journalism, it's well known. It's nothing groundbreaking here, right? It's that you are to seek the truth, to move that into the public realm, and you can choose what interests you and what you're going to talk about, but whatever it is, you're seeking the truth. You've got to be responsible, you've got to be accountable, you've got to be transparent, you've got to be comprehensive, you've got to be accurate, and your role is to preserve history and to do it in a way that minimizes harm. This is how you're an ethical journalist. And I don't believe Lauren Schaff is an ethical journalist. I don't think she should be representing any media outlet who claims to be truly fourth estate. When you discard what doesn't suit your personal beliefs or your own warpath, your own agenda, when you lie and lie by omission, this isn't journalism. And when you don't show natural curiosity, you have to wonder if you're suited to the role you've chosen. Lauren Schaff doesn't seem to have the curiosity about the DNA found on Suzanne's bike and on her Range Rover and on the security system at her home. Maybe she was told to show an intruder that the alarm system hadn't rung a bell somewhere and that the police weren't on their way. Maybe an intruder accosted her getting out of the Range Rover, and Suzanne has ran to the master bedroom and an intruder has pushed in the door. We don't know. Lauren doesn't show any interest in this, and she doesn't show any compassion for the women who may have been raped, or even fondled outside a convenience store. She says it doesn't matter. These things aren't of concern, that they're not important, that they hold no bearing on the Barry and Suzanne Morphew case. This is absolutely shocking. It should shock and confound you. Okay, so Lauren Schaff doesn't care about the DNA. She doesn't care about solving those crimes so those women can have closure and get justice, and so that the DNA could possibly be separated from the murder trial. Okay, so that it can be proven that it's nothing to do with the disappearance of Suzanne Morphew, and thereby actually strengthening the case against Barry Morphew, which is the side that Lauren's on firmly. She'll say it's about justice for Suzanne, but it's really about nailing Barry. Now, nailing Barry might just happen, because of getting justice for Suzanne. So if you're keeping justice for Suzanne at the forefront, whatever that is, well, then the outcome is just. So who is this person? Is it a person that has been living their life in Maysville or Salida for a decade or whatever, and has been able to hide in plain sight as a dangerous person, as an abuser? Is Lauren Schaff not worried that townsfolk, Suzanne Morphew's community, are in danger? There could be other women that are going to get raped or abused or accosted or abducted by this person who has been a criminal offender against women in more than one state. And what other crimes has this person committed that they're not on record for DNA-wise, right? So what if there are people that he has disappeared, and because those people haven't been found, and maybe he didn't leave prints or DNA at an abduction site, a crime scene, for example, his crimes are unknown. These other crimes are unknown. So that needs to be cleared up. It could just be some douchebag that is maybe in the Morphew circle of friends, again, hiding in plain sight, hasn't harmed Suzanne, but should be just cleared off the list as far as the crime against her goes, if indeed a crime against her has been performed. And wouldn't you want to know who this person is and know that the public are actually safe from a repeat offender? The fact that Lauren Schaff, her bias, it's her VPL. Let's just say that. This is Lauren's visible panty line. She's got her knickers in a twist for Barry, and it's just the bottom line. Not to mention that when she lies about how she got involved in the case, how interested she was in, we can not wipe from our minds the poor performance that she gave when she first appeared on Profiling Evil, when she was probably approached by them. Apparently it's the other way around or something like that. I don't believe it. I believe she's groomed through and through by Profiling Evil, and she's been used as their tool. She doesn't realise it. but she thinks it's set her on a path, and she thinks it's set her on a path to journalistic glory, and this just isn't the case, because she doesn't have what it takes. And I know she's beloved, but she needs to check herself. She needs to check her comment section, okay? And this might be a segue into the second person I want to talk about. Because Lauren Schaff's comment section is full of, hey, regular people that could turn up on a jury duty, right? Well, when you look at what these people say, you just think, this makes a great case for abolishing MOP jury duties and just having experts. Well, particularly when it might be a case that could possibly go federal, a first-degree murder case, is the general public capable of analysing facts and being objective and making a fair and just decision based on whatever they are shown, presented with, right? Because you've still got in her comment sections, and she doesn't moderate it, so she's allowing falsities to be spread like seed into the universe, out over our planet, to take hold and just spread and flourish. Falsities, right? This should go against everything that she stands for. However, so, what I'm saying is perhaps she should actually have a closed comment section, except, algorithms, right? But she should have a closed comments, no comments on her videos. People there, and no one has mentioned in trial the fact that Barry Morphew went to Gene Mormon and demanded he declare Suzanne dead. And, I know, wasn't that disgusting? I mean, look, it's hearsay that Gene Mormon heard Barry tell him, I loved your daughter. That little d is used as a tool, okay, to create this hysteria, to allow you to have hysteria around this one little falsity. Okay, Barry didn't go there to declare Suzanne dead. He couldn't do that if he wanted to at the time. He went to declare her incapacitated. Now, I know that is a lot of syllables and maybe too many for Lauren Schaff to spit out, especially on camera. She can barely get a sentence out. She stumbles, she mispronounces, she stutters, she looks down, she blushes. She's useless, okay? She's embarrassing on camera. Now, I know it must be difficult, but I'm sure there's media training that she could have. She just seems to get flustered, or she's ill-prepared, or there's just not enough connection here to have a flow, or I don't know. I don't know what her problem is, but every time she's on TV, she's awkward. It's awkward to watch her. Yes, I know. Criticism, I can be held up for a lot of it. It's okay. I understand it. So, Linda Stanley, she's regrouped. Yes, she's come on Stanley guns blazing. She's confident, charming, funny. Okay, this is fine, but is this appropriate? No. But if she was doing a bit piece on Sesame Street, and she wasn't in the middle of a murder trial, and maybe she was a major celebrity and was on a talk show or something like that, well, yeah, sure, you'd want to see this side of her and it's appropriate. But why do we need to be told to sit on a spike and spin? Why are we listening to spin, right? And lapping it up and soaking it in. It is true. I mean, I wasn't aware at the time. I don't know. It just doesn't come across my radar. I didn't know that Linda Stanley had been picked on for her appearance at this, physical appearance at the announcement of Barry Morphew's arrest. I mean, this is just pathetic, but I nearly think this is PR to start this so that she's got something to counter. I don't know. I'm nearly a bit sus. I thought she looked badass. I thought she looked cool or whatever. I didn't even, this is in hindsight when I go back and realize what she was wearing, which was a black leather jacket and some denim jeans. When I went to check what she was wearing because of what was said on profile, I had a quick look while the live was on and she looked fine. I don't know why people even noticed that at the time, right? It was more important what she was saying. Barry Morphew had been arrested. But okay, she had applied for the warrant for his arrest. She knew nothing. Okay, she jumped the gun. And when she first is talking about it and DNA, she's having to acknowledge and respond with regards to the DNA of this unknown person who is an offender against women in other states, and I think in Colorado, not sure, definitely in Arizona, definitely in Michigan, which is up near Chicago, or it was in Chicago and it's near, anyway, it's not too far from where Jeff Libler lives anyway. Not that that means anything. I'm starting to ramble now, right? Sorry. I'm very tired. She was shook. I could tell. Linda Stanley was shook. She was fearful. I could see that she was unsure and unstable about it. It was really interesting. I mean, it is a different scenario going on, profiling evil and being prepared for this bit piece that you're going to do, right? But the real Linda Stanley is the asshole who puts her American flags up the wrong way, a disrespectful way. There's only one way to hang an American flag, but got to make it look nice, right, Linda? This is in her address that's on Facebook, on YouTube. Her address when she's in the run for the 11th 11th office, Sorry, I'm so tired. I can't say words today. Yeah, I'm doing a Schaff. So I think she was shaken and I think she knew she was in trouble because I think she may have been lied to and duped. Okay, she says she was given an outline of points about the case, what she could run with, and that's what she did. And then it's later she's got in the arrest affidavit. Now, sure, we don't know. There could be some serious information in this arrest affidavit that we don't know about. It could be that they, in fact, did run forensic analysis or investigation in Hotel Inn Express Hotel's room, in Barry's room, right? It could be that they did see footage early enough to follow up with the trash that Barry Morphew threw out. And maybe it wasn't just trash, sure. There could be a lot that we're having kept from us, right? That is actually real evidence. She can talk all she likes about circumstantial evidence and everything is evidence. Okay, yeah, sure, because we don't just see someone commit a murder, right? But is she trying to say that the DNA evidence, is she just repeating Lauren Schaff's view? Is she trying to push this DNA evidence under the rug? It seems like it. She wants you to forget about it. She wants you to forget about it. She wants you to forget about what went on in this preliminary trial. And yeah, she wants to just move on. She was shocked to learn. Another thing she didn't know was that, hey, she wasn't going to have a grand jury. There hadn't been one in this judiciary. And it was going to go to a panel of experts. Yeah, she wanted the grand jury. She knows they're going to indict, right? Experts are different. It's a bit more tricky. They've got questions that they want answered. See, because if this went ahead with a grand jury based on a collection of comment sections, for example, people that are in the comment sections on YouTube videos, no problem. No problem. You know, it's a lot more difficult for her maybe than she imagined. Anyway, I think yeah, there's just so much spin going on. There's just so much bias. Both women, as a woman, seeing people in, you know, important roles, you know, serving the public, serving the community, these are their roles. You know, for someone that has, you know, made great steps in their career, you want them to, you know, do well as a woman and not show traits that undervalue or undermine their achievements, right? It just makes her look like a manipulator. It makes her look untrustworthy, unreliable. And I'm not sure that either one of them should be holding their positions. What do you think? What do you think? You know, so Linda Stanley, she's talking to social media. Okay, sure, she can say all she wants, that it's, oh, well, as long as I don't say anything about this, that, or the other. It's all there to manipulate you. And she's got her cronies, you know, she's got her cronies. Why isn't she then just maybe giving a press release? Why is she just talking to cronies on YouTube, social media, who don't have a code of ethics, really? You know, fair use, this, that, the other. But really, essentially, they're just independent people who can, you know, think about this. And this is the other. Linda, if you have to say, in my opinion, like a sarcastic smartass 300 times in 1.5 hour video, maybe you should be checking what it is you're saying. If you have to try and protect yourself and save yourself and, you know, back away from your convictions, you know, because it could get you into trouble, then maybe it's just not fact. Maybe your opinions are there to create drama, to cast aspersions, to tell porkies, to manipulate. You're not there, you know, fair enough, giving an opinion. That's all I do, isn't it? I'm here to give an opinion. But I don't feel the need to qualify anything as much because I'm talking within the realms of free speech. I'm judging what I'm saying based on what these people are showing us. It's all out there. I'm not talking about anything that we haven't seen or anything that they haven't said or done, okay? You know, compare Lauren Schaff's tweets and reportage on the prelim to what has come out from others and how she has skipped things, missed things out, put her views out. This isn't journalism. If she wants to be that person, she needs to leave Fox and become independent, give herself whatever title she wants, social commentator or whatever, and do it that way. And then she could say whatever the hell she wants. But as it is, she's turning her back on the code of ethics that she has an obligation to value and uphold. Anyway, I have gone on long enough. I need to go. So this didn't turn out clear and concise, you know. But just think about it. Think about what people are saying in the comments section, you know. Are they just yelling on about Morphew wanting to declare Suzanne dead, which is not right. It was incapacitated. And just step back from it and go, okay, yeah, look, if he said that about Suzanne, you know, look, none of this looks good, but he was trying to sell his house. The house was being sold. The Indiana house was under contract, etc., or whatever. You know, the wheels were in motion. He had to get that done, right? What Gene Mormon did by not declaring Suzanne incapacitated was force his granddaughter to take on that role and to have to do that instead of this grown-ass man who's lived a full life, who could have just done it. It was going to happen anyway. He had regret for this rift, and he still couldn't help himself. He had to force the Mormons and Morphews further apart, pull Mallory and Barry even closer together, put her in a terrible position, even more of a power, this under the power, you know, imagine the pressure to do that, and what an awful thing to have to do. Okay? Gene Mormon did that, accept it. And it was so that Suzanne's property could be signed over to Andy Mormon. That's what I understand it anyway. Okay, and then I guess so that Barry could continue on with his obligation to complete the sale of the Indiana home, etc., 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 right? But it was so that Andy Mormon could get Suzanne's property in his name. You know, and fair enough, because that's not in Barry's name, and it's a tricky situation, so they needed to sort that out. So Barry went and did that. He went and did it. Okay, he didn't just decide to drive right out there and declare Suzanne dead. So when you see these comments there, just stop and take stock, and then realize this is someone that might, imagine if you're in a terrible situation and you're presumed innocent, and let's imagine you're entirely innocent, but you somehow end up on these charges, awful charges, and you've got people like those fuckwits, they're on your jury. Okay, do you want that? So, you know, maybe just consider that a little bit. There's a right path. You can still get the right outcome. You can get justice for Suzanne, and it should be based on truth. We need, you know, this trust in the system and what's happening. So we've got trust and truth. We've got justice. So I like this new word. It's trustice. Anywho, sorry. Speak to you later. Let me know what you think in my comments section, which I moderate. Okay. See ya.